Hey, what's going on, folks? I'm back. Josh here with Brain Jacket Audio. Let's go ahead and dive in, guys. Well, folks, it's been about 5 years since I last posted on here, so I wanted to fire up the Brain Jacket Audio project and get back into it. I just got busy. I got an opportunity to be in a band, which snowballed into a few bands, which we're going to talk about here in just a moment. But do want to apologize for the clickbaity title. So, but I do truly hope you guys get something from this. I appreciate you tuning in. Goal for the channel, this being the first video back in so long, I would like to create a community of like-minded musicians, folks that could share their experiences, their stories, help the newer, the younger musicians, folks that maybe haven't played live, started a band. They've been practicing, doing scales, doing this stuff, but they haven't gotten out yet, So that's all this is. As well as bringing some goals to bring some interviews from local musicians, talking about maybe songwriting, ways they do things, gear reviews, highlighting musical venues here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, surrounding areas, backing tracks, and then of course hanging out with my musical pals, my buddies, and so just talking about things and playing some music. So that's the goal. I hope you guys enjoy it. But as far as this video goes, if you're thinking about starting an original band or joining an original band, that's the preface it here. It's just original music. I hope you guys get something from this. This is, again, just my experience, just some things that I've gotten to be a part of or witnessed or maybe been on the unfortunate receiving end of things. So as it goes, in any journey. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. So first band's going to be Midday Static. As well, before we jump into it, these are blue light glasses. I get terrible migraines, guys, so at work, computer screens, and then of course the phone, and then here doing recordings or whatever video stuff. So yeah, I'm trying these out, but they're not prescription. I'm sure those are in my future, but so again, back to Midday Static. Let's get into it, guys. So Midday Static. For the sake of this video, this guy's name will go under an alias as Ryan, and I'll throw up a picture of me and Ryan, and there's a reason why, and I'll touch on this at the end of the segment, but this was his brainchild, and what he would do is produce, record the songs at home, and live he'd have a laptop, keys, synth, and guitar. He'd mute whatever instrument he wanted to play live, and that was his shtick. So he wanted to get together a live band, and this is where I got in through the drummer. And this is, I'd like to pause and mention for the musicians out there, the new musicians trying to get out and join a band. The inevitable question comes up of what do you sound like? So I would say a tip is to have a couple of as polished as you can get them recordings in your back pocket that you could send over to them, because that's what I did. And he sent them over to Ryan. They both liked them, so showed up to practice, and the dynamic was a little different. Again, he already had these songs recorded ready. He's booking shows, so we're just kind of hopping into a moving thing. And So the name of the game was to put down lead to all these pre-existing songs, and there was no vocals. So that was different for me. But, again, it was opportunity. He had seemed like a good shoe-in on the industry or the scene here in Tulsa. So went along, was putting together lead, and I'll throw up a video of our first show at the Vanguard, which had about 2 weeks of rehearsal before this show. I'm sure, as you noticed, that was a rough show. It was a rough show for me. I feel like, some things could have definitely been better. My bends, I wasn't confident necessarily. I think I was probably 55, 60% there of what I wanted the songs to even be at the time. And as you heard in the intro to the Midday Static, that was more of somewhere I landed towards the end of fortunately towards the end of that group. So you could see the difference. You could hear the difference. Sorry, but that was the Vanguard show. Still had a great time. Still met a lot of great people. Made some connections. We'll touch on that later, but move on to, let's see. There was some more shows. This is going to be a music video that somehow we got, again, with marketing, social media, got this track onto a TV show. So we did a music video for it. Seemed to gain some good comments, stuff like that, but it was cold outside. I was laughing because you'll see the Squier speaker that he had. It was hilarious. I was dying laughing, me and the drummer, but I think we gave him shit for it, but in this namesake of a video. Fast forward some more. This is some backstage stuff for pre-sound or sound check we got an opportunity to play with Cherub. We got to open for Cherub and Gibbs at the Canes. And of course there was a bunch of shows. We went down to Norman to a music festival. We did some shows in Arkansas, playing all through Tulsa. And there was a clip here in a minute, kind of a montage of some different shows. And the Canes will be in there as well. But that was probably the best opportunity there. Getting to play on a historic stage here in Oklahoma. Canes Ballroom is a historic music venue. Been there many times, seen so much great talent, so it was kind of surreal to be on the stage, looking out. So to see some cool, I'll throw it up here if I didn't already. That's one of the guys from Cherub sound checking with his bass on roller skates. That's part of their shtick, is they bust out some roller skates, which is cool. And then backstage at the Canes, buddy of mine and another buddy of mine, one was doing videography and photos that night for us. And then this will be a montage of some shows. guys, that was Midday, and I'll touch on some more kind of the pros and cons here towards the end of at the end of the video. But that was the demise was met when, unfortunately, the singer got into some hot water, or not singer, but the main guy Ryan got into some hot water, and that was unfortunate. Because we were kind of moving through some stuff, and as far as progress and traction, but it just never really got to spiral into anything huge, because unfortunately, he made a big mistake. He wasn't quite the person we all thought he was. So that's just a life lesson, Oh well. We actually formed another band, and that's where we'll go ahead and dive into Lovely Lorenzo.
Building energy, getting heavier. This town's like Beverly, only messier. Answer the melody with a breath deeper. This is Jeopardy, only sexier. How am I supposed to know what is coming next?
Okay, so on to Lovely Lorenzo. Formerly Death Sports, so we were formed out of the unfortunate demise of Midday Static, because again, towards the end there, we were starting to, there was that energy, we were rumors before everything came out, so we were already started kind of, there was that separation before the final, everything was severed, and then it was just Lovely Lorenzo is what we became. It was Death Sports. But the music we played, I'm sure if I find something, try to put up there under the some kind of snippet, it was the furthest thing from heavy metal, And while Death Sports is a pretty badass name, it's cool for that, right? Like, that's just what you think when you hear it. Then you hear that music and you're like, well, wait a second, that's not that. So we switched pretty quick to Lovely Lorenzo, which I think is a badass name. And did a couple of shows. We played it was a Smokelahoma festival. That was fun. Unfortunately, somebody forgot the keyboard, which was hilarious. And that's a learning curve. Make sure you double, triple check. Make sure you have all the equipment. And the people we're playing with too, this wasn't our first or second show or 10th show. We played shows. Like, all these cats have played shows. So what made it hilarious is to get there and to realize some dumbass forgot the keyboard, and we're laughing, because we'll make do. No one freaked out. There was no one's cussing, no one's, there's the laughter. It's like, oh, well, man, you adapt, 10 minutes, 15 minutes before we're going on, we realized, because we had taken multiple vehicles, so we just thought the person who had it would have it, and they didn't have it, so, oh, well. But great show, great fun. I'm trying to find some of that footage if I can. Cool, but if not, oh well. I mean, it was a great memory though. And then that kind of, I got to say that this was a learning curve, because in a lesson, because this is where, as we try to spin our wheels and grow, there's a level of patience that comes with the band, guys. And I feel like the unfortunate demise of this group was lack of it. There was a few of us in the band that didn't have it. I feel like myself included. I feel like that was a piece that when you're doing something for so long and you're trying to gain traction, and you've got to sit and you've got to think, folks. You got to see where this is going, where it's headed, and you got to see if is it worth the wait, and you got to be able to wait. Right? So you've got to be able to wait and have patience, and because sometimes, even if you're not playing every week or once a month or something, even if you play once a quarter, what could that turn into? Is that for you? Is that what you want? And sometimes that is absolutely fine. The older I'm getting, figuring that out, that's fine. That's totally fine to be in a group that's what you do. Because you're free to be in another group. You don't have to just be in one group. If it's tough for you, I understand. But when you're set up like that, where you're only doing so much, and you're focusing on maybe certain other things, which is, again, different dynamics for different groups, I think it's 100% fine. So hindsight is always 20/20. You think about it, and So that was the demise of Lovely. I feel like was lack of patience on a few people's part, and myself being in that. So, and then really the next one I saved this one. This was my baby, and we'll get on into Blackwater.